Hello.
All right, how's everything?
All right, can't complain.
Good.
Thanksgiving was good. God is great. How you doing?
Good, man.
Good.
Just started the meeting, that's all.
Man, I just left Walmart, left my phone in there. Was about to turn around and go back. And I had no idea what time it was, nothing. I said, man, I gotta go to a meeting today. I gotta get there.
Oh,
Came here, my phone's sitting there. I know right where it's at on my shelf. Man. God willing, it's gonna still be there when I get out. Either way, you know what I mean?
no, man, I wouldn't want you to.
Nah, man. But it'll be there. It'll be there. I know right where I set it down at and everything in there.
You sure, man?
I'm positive.
Listen,
I need this.
you need this?
I just need this. Yeah,
All right.
shit.
All right.
I need it more than I need a phone.
All right, so we'll get started. All right, and so welcome everyone once again to our coffee conversation session. This is our support group, and so without further ado, my name is Craig, and I have my main man Jay here, and so we're going to begin. This article is brought to you by alcoholrehab.com. You can always go online and retrieve this information. And so the first thing we want to talk about or present to you is today's topic, overcoming resistance to recovery. And once again, this is our coffee conversation support group. All right. And so let's get into it. Resistance and hopeless cases and addiction. All right. We need to talk about these things and why it need to be discussed. It says it can be heartbreaking to watch loved ones destroy their own life with alcohol or drugs. The destruction caused by these substances is usually obvious to those close to the addict, but this individual can be completely oblivious to what is going on. They will try to blame their problems in life on other people or just bad luck. If friends and family try to convince them otherwise, they become defensive and possibly even aggressive. The fact that this person is so resistant to giving up the substance abuse can lead loved ones to conclude that they are hopeless cases. This is hardly ever the case, and there is almost always a way to get beyond resistance to recovery. It is not possible to force the person to want recovery, but they can be encouraged to reach this point, right? And so the article makes mention of why people may be oblivious that they have a problem, and so we don't want to force someone to get help because they can become out of character, aggressive, or blame others. We want to encourage people. So the next one we want to talk about, and that is what that said, Jay.
Resistance to recovery explained.
All right.
Can I read?
Sure, please.
Those who have developed a physical and or psychological dependence on alcohol or drugs will usually be reluctant about giving these substances up. This is known as resistance to recovery. Unless the individual becomes willing to change, there is very little that can be done to help them end the addiction. Even if they are involuntarily forced to enter a treatment facility, they can still relapse as soon as they return home. It is therefore vital that these people are able to get beyond their resistance and embrace a new and better life.
Wow. All right. So that's the goal. Get people back stable and healthy to a better lifestyle. Next one we want to talk about, and I hope I don't seem like I'm rushing through it, but for time's sake, and I know that it's imperative that we talk about resistance, but also I just want to present this information as calmly and clearly as possible. The reason for resistance to recovery. There can be many reasons, the article says, there can be many reasons for why the individual is resistant to help with their addiction problem, including, they're going to give us a list of why people resist treatment. All right. And it says, even if the individual accepts that their life in addiction is unsatisfactory, they can resist giving up the substance abuse because they fear change. There is comfort in the familiarity, and deciding to change means leaving this comfort zone, right? Some people be fearful because they don't want to give up the familiarity all right, or leaving their comfort zone, all right? You may know someone like that. I know when I was in active addiction, me myself, listen, at the time, I thought it was something that I felt comfortable doing.
Right.
I thought I wasn't hurting
The
nobody.
whole new future that was ahead of you, that was unseen and unheard of,
Yeah.
was unfamiliar. So we didn't want to go there to this place I'd never been.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, when I went to rehab, I was like a little fucking kid in a car seat, kicking and screaming.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not want to go.
Right. So change for most people is very hard.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
All right. And so it says when people have become physically and psychologically dependent on alcohol and drugs, it means that they will suffer unpleasant withdrawal symptoms should they try to stop. So we suggest that if anybody tries to stop, please don't do it on your own. We always recommend that you do detoxification withdrawal method with a professional qualified physician that's available. All right. It says the individual can use their dislike of these symptoms as an excuse to stay addicted. It is common for those who are caught up in addiction to be in denial about their situation. So true. They will blame everything except the substance abuse for the problems they have in their life. Those individuals who are trapped in addiction can have many misconceptions about what? Recovery. They may believe that it has to involve finding God or becoming a living saint. It can be almost impossible for the addict to imagine a life where they can be happy without alcohol or drugs. This means that they view recovery as a joyless life, right? And so it's like, oh man, you're taking the sting out of having fun, you know.
So what I want to know is when you was a kid and they said, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
You ever heard anybody say, oh, I want to be an addict?
Never hear that.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
like they like flip that and be like, yo, when I was little, I didn't want to be this. So why am I so, adamant about keeping this and not giving this up? You know, that's crazy.
And it can be a whole host of things. People that you're surrounding who's talking, whispering in your ear. Oh man, that's for cornballs.
Yeah.
You know,
Nobody likes a quitter.
Yeah. all those type of slogans.
Yeah.
That we self-talk that we say to ourselves. And in all reality, you can have just as more fun without being under the influence.
Yeah, really,
Think
in
clear.
reality, you do have more fun.
Right, you think clearer.
Yeah, that
Behave
becomes a
better.
24/7
You ain't
job.
looking over your shoulder.
Nope.
For the law, man.
That's right. It's so much better.
So much
It's
peaceful.
so much more peaceful.
There you go. All right. It said one of the most common fears that people have about recovery is that it will be boring. This is because it will have often been boredom that drove the individual into substance abuse in the first place. If the individual has low self-esteem, it would mean that they would not expect much out of life. They may be convinced that a life of addiction is the best they can hope for. Wow, we need to elevate that train of thought. There are addicts who do want to end their addiction, but they believe that they have to hit rock bottom before they can quit. The danger with this kind of thinking is that they can wait until it's too late. The only time to give up an addiction is now. Not later on, not rock bottom, but now. Some individuals will have had bad experiences with previous attempt at recovery. I am one. Okay? This will have left them feeling bitter and resistant to any further attempts at sobriety. You try to do it one time on your own, then you just feel you just can't do it on your own. You may need some a little boost or an encouragement or some treatments,
Right.
some recovery plan.
Even the family, a strong network of family. Not everybody has that, so they need whatever help they can
Outside
get. But
help.
if you got a good family there, even that would work. Somebody in your family might be going through recovery too, tell you how they did it.
Could be an encouraging booster.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know where help can come from. All right. Addicts tend to surround themselves with a support network network of drinking or drug using peers. This group helps to keep the individual trapped in substance abuse because the person can fear losing these friends. They can what? Fear losing these friends. Many addicts have low self-efficacy, and this means that they do not believe that they have the ability to quit the substance abuse. Those who have abused mind-altering substance over a long period of time will have made this the main focus in their life. By giving up alcohol or drugs, they will need to give up a large chunk of their personal identity. Woo! And change one's lifestyle. I think that's who they are. In all actuality, drugs or alcohol do not make or define who you are. Who you are by your belief system, right? There are some addicts who can be described as high functioning and outwardly successful. The fact that these individuals have such a well-maintained addiction means that they may not see any need for change. We're talking about resistance here, all right? As it's strolling across the screen, we're talking about overcoming resistance to recovery, all right? A lot of people put up a fight, go screaming and kicking. Oh, I don't want to go to treatment. Oh, it ain't me, it's the other person. Oh, I can do it on my own. A lot of times we need a little help. All right. So let's go on to the next one. Jay.
Well-maintained addictions. Not all addicts will fit this stereotype of the person who is struggling to hold things together. Those who have a well-maintained addiction can appear outwardly successful and be well-respected by friends, family, work colleagues, and in their community. This individual can use their success as a means to justify their substance abuse, and they will have no problem finding people who agree with them. Those who are high-functioning addicts can be particularly resistant to recovery because the individual may feel that they have far too much to lose by admitting to their problem. They can worry that it might harm their career or that they might lose some of the respect they have worked so hard to earn. There can be a culture of heavy drinking and drug use in some professions. It can be difficult to break away from this culture. The most common reasons for why people break away from addiction is that they hit rock bottom. The high-functioning addict can use their wealth and success to prevent themselves from hitting this point. The individual may believe that they have too many responsibilities, and this means that they cannot take time out of their life to get help with their addiction problems. Highly successful people can feel that they have earned the right to abuse these substances. They live by the dangerous motto of work hard, play hard. Boy, ain't that true. That was my motto right there, man. I went out on the ocean and killed I fucking earned this. You shut your mouth. You got nothing to say to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thinking, thinking.
Yes.
We call that thinking, thinking.
That's the whole crew. We'd be sitting at the bar. I fucking earned this. Always see me. I'm sorry. That's the fisherman in me right there.
That's all right.
I apologize. But yeah, that was our motto. Work hard, play hard. I can't believe that.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
So, this is the updated material because that's what people often say.
Yes, sir.
And, after a long week, hard working, man.
Yo, I got to wash the salt out my throat. That's what we say. I got to go get some alcohol.
I never heard that.
Wash the salt out.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
But now you don't need to wash the salt.
Now I say live a life worth dying for.
Oh.
Live a life worth dying for.
You got some sayings, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's hit the last one then.
If the individual is a celebrity, they will fear the media attention that would arise if their problems become public.
Right. So people resist treatment because they don't want to be exposed. They don't want to give up the lifestyle that they're common and used to. And so there's a lot of resistance. And so the next one, we're going to talk about another resistant factor, and that is resistance to recovery as low self-efficacy. Even when the individual accepts that alcohol or drug abuse is destroying their life, they can still delay seeking help for their problems. If they have low self-efficacy, it means that they do not believe that they possess the ability to quit. This is because self-efficacy refers to the belief that people have in their ability to achieve something. The lower their self-efficacy, the less likely a person is to achieve something. It is failing before even trying. That's a self-doubt attitude or self-doubt mentality.
Yes, sir.
Failing before you even try. It is often the case that low self-efficacy is coupled with low self-esteem. And this means that the individual feel that they deserve their current situation. All right? And that's a sad state to be in when you think that's all you can achieve. And that life, this is the best that life can offer you. And this is all that I need in life when there's so much more that one can achieve. A lot of times when we fail to challenge ourselves to learn something new, do something better, we just doing ourselves a disservice.
That's right.
I
love learning something new every day. Man, I'm the first one to ask something like, you need something done, and you ask me, I'm gonna be the first to tell you if I can or cannot do it. And then if there's somebody that can and I don't know, I want to know how. Like, something you don't know, like,
exactly.
Knowledge is everything, man.
Right,
You can
Jack.
make money with knowledge. You can use it it's all beneficial. All knowledge.
That's right. Information is power.
That's right.
All right. The next one we're going to talk about, and I'll close this out with this one because there's a lot, and that is involuntary admission to rehab. All right. Involuntary admission to rehab. The article says it can be heartbreaking for family and friends who watch a loved one destroy their life with alcohol or drugs. If the addict remains resistant to recovery, these individuals may begin considering the possibility of involuntary admission to rehab. This is where the person is put into such a facility against their will, but by court order. You ever heard of court, drug court? People have been mandated. A lot of times people won't come to a support group on their own.
Yeah.
Or go an NA meeting because, they feel like, and if I ain't court mandated.
Right. There ain't nothing in there for me.
Might
learn something.
Right. And so it says, up until a few decades ago, it was relatively easy for family members to have a loved one committed, but times have changed. The law changed due to abuse of system where people have been involuntarily detained unfairly. It is now difficult to have anyone committed, and they need to be in an imminent danger to themselves or other people. This means that involuntary admission to rehab is not usually a viable option anymore. There is a great deal that can be done to overcome resistance to recovery, and the article states the resistance that addicts have to recovery will vary over time, and it will be at its lowest when they have messed up because of alcohol or drugs. If family and friends suggest rehab at this time, the addict will be more receptive to the idea. All right. So once before, people would just be closed-minded, but now when they get into a situation where they're messed up, where things are really going bad, family and friends say, "Hey, man, I think it's about time." People will be more open-minded. Say, "You know what? Let me give it a try." Right? Hearing about and spending time with those who have managed to build a successful recovery can be inspiring for addictive individuals. The desire to emulate this success can overcome any fear of change. If that person can do it, man, listen, I think I could do it too. That's what inspired me so much. When I was in the therapeutic community, I used to see my supervisor. He was a hardcore guy that was running the street. Well, he was a supervisor, and he was counseling. He'd come and he had this little outfit on. He was sharp, and, but you can see that the past abscess on his from his hand and
Yeah.
using. I said, man,
Yeah,
this guy can do it,
that's
man.
right.
Let me give myself a shot at it, man. And I was, he really inspired me. Mr. Skirty, I didn't mean to be name dropping, but if you're out here watching, you inspire me, man. All right, and so where we at? So it says, constantly lecturing the individual about the need to give up alcohol or drugs can be an ineffective strategy. A better approach might be to leave recovery books and other material in places where this person is likely to see them. An intervention is where family and friends come together to confront the individual and demand that they get help. The power of numbers can be effective, and an assistant intervention can be even more effective. All right, and so let's read. Oh, they got a little bit more on the back. It says, by learning more about the likely experience of withdrawal symptoms, it can put the addict mind at ease. All right, it is hardly ever any worse than a mild case of influenza. There are also pharmaceuticals that can make the withdrawal process more comfortable, such as MAT, medication assisted treatment. An addiction therapist will be able to help the individual see beyond their denial. They can also help this person develop self-efficacy needed to become willing to enter recovery. Once the high-functioning addict understands how much they have to lose by continuing the behavior and how much they have to gain by ending it, they will usually become more receptive to recovery. Learning the truth about life and recovery can help the addict overcome their objections to it. They will not be expected to live a boring life or become a living saint. The truth is that a new joy awaits them in recovery that is greater than anything they have previously known. And that's it for this time. This has been our Overcome Resistance to Recovery support group coffee conversation session. I am Craig, and this is Jay. It's been a blast to be able to share some information, build upon the knowledge that we have already obtained, because we always, if we stay open to some new information, we can grow and develop and become the best you that you can be. Anything you want to add, Jay?
Yeah, live that life that's worth dying for.
And that life is what?
A clean and sober life that is fulfilling, just fulfilling in your heart. When you know in your own heart that you've done what you can do for others and for yourself, without hurting and this and that, that's that life that was worth living and then dying for.
Gratitude, being appreciative of
who you are, what you have.
That's right, and be able to help somebody along the way.
That's right.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Until next time, everybody stay safe. All right, and so we'll close this one out, and then we'll work on closing this out. Let me see how.